What's going on, Sun Rays? Thank you guys for coming back to the channel, Raye Keys TV. I am your girl Raye, and we are back at it with another episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 12, Episode 5. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you guys right up, I'm very under the weather, and this episode is going to be very short, just because one, I'm not feeling well, and two, the episode didn't give me a whole lot to work with until the very end. So first things first, you guys, I think the producers are doing something a little bit different with this episode. They showed us glimpses of each one of the girls kind of separately. So first they were showing Porsha with her baby, then Eva in the kitchen making sandwiches or whatever, KANDI and Riley, then they jumped over to Cynthia inviting Porsha to her Bailey Q, and of course NENE. The episode opens up with Kenya and Porsha down at the Jitterbug dance class or dance studio, getting in, you know, some mommy baby dance moves. I don't think that Kenya and Porsha's relationship is going to last. I don't think that they're going to be the friends that we wanted them to be this whole time. Porsha was like, well, does Kenya have to slay? She got to slay like that at the Jitterbug class with her you know, heels on. And Kenya says something about Porsha twerking. So, you know, you kind of get a glimpse of how they really feel about each other, even though they were joking. The thing about jokes is that there's truth to it. You know, people can say whatever they want to say and laugh, but the joke is that a lot of times it's true. So moving right along, the next thing that jumps out at me is Riley, KANDI, and Todd's daughter Kayla, and Riley and Ace. They all end up in New York because Riley wants to do an internship. So KANDI gets pretty much a favor from her entertainment lawyer. It seems like Riley has been exposed to so much because of her mother. Her mother allows her to travel with her, go different places, experience different cultures. And honestly, when you get to do that, when a child gets to do that, it broadens their horizons. It is the fuel that makes them smart. This is kind of a sidebar note, but many times you'll hear people say of a child or of a person, that person, oh, Johnny is so smart, he's so smart. What is really smart? To me, smart is someone who has experienced many different things, has been exposed to many different experiences, so that they can talk about it, you know. Unless there is something wrong with the actual brain and the brain is not developing and there's a developmental issue, then who really is smart? KANDI said that she's allowed Riley to go to Stanford for the summer. She's allowed her to go to London. And honey, I just think that's especially for a black child, to get out and you know, experience different parts of your own country plus other countries. That's a wonderful thing. So kudos to you, KANDI. Keep doing what you're doing. Riley, even though she is privileged and a little spoiled, I think Riley is developing into a very smart, intelligent, driven young lady, just like her mother. In one of my last reviews, I called Todd a loser, and some of y'all agreed, some of y'all disagreed, but case in point why I feel like Todd is a loser, besides the fact that he goes to the strip joint with his daughter, when the bailman delivered Riley's luggage and all of her items, they had it on the cart. Todd looks at that cart and says, well, it's your place, so I'll leave that to you. What father lets his daughter carry a bunch of bags? What father lets his daughter unpack and, you know, and do stuff like that on her own without helping? Now, granted, we didn't see everything. He could have been joking and came back later and helped her, but I highly doubt it. But things like that scream out to me loser. And I don't know if y'all caught this, but did you guys see when they went up on the rooftop, the white girl that was spread eagle, she was actually face down in that chair, but her legs was all like wide open. She's like upside down in the beach chair doing the most. I don't know if they got the word that the cameras were going to be up there, and she just, but girl, it just looked like somebody was fronting for the cameras real quick. Like, let them get this angle. Boom, bam. So about 16 minutes into the episode, they finally bring NENE in, and NENE's in the kitchen with Greg making lunch or whatever, and in walks Marlo, who I'm gonna tell y'all, Marlo is the MVP of the RHOA. Okay, I'm loving Marlo this season so far. You know, she's coming with her same old attitude and her reads, and you know, but I don't feel like it's as negative as it used to be, or how I used to take it. Marlo is telling it how she sees it. She says it like she means it, and she calls it like she sees it. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you're a friend of mine, I'm gonna love that quality in you, because I'm the same way. You know, if you ask me, I'm gonna shoot it to you straight. Marlo does it without being prompted, granted, but she still walks in her truth, and I love that about her. I love that we're seeing a more compassionate side of her. Now, the one thing I want to touch on, that, you know, I'm seeing bits and pieces in the blogs here and there why Marlo doesn't have a peach. I speculated it's because she used the F word some seasons back when she was talking to Raye, and Andy and Bravo probably have not gotten over it. Well, when Andy was on Speak On It, KANDI interviewed Andy Cohen on her Speak On It platform, and she asked, how come Marlo doesn't have a peach? And he basically said it's basically because Bravo doesn't have consensus from the cast of the Housewives of Atlanta. And if you think about it, I mean, it's understandable, because Marlo goes in on, I mean, she's NENE's friend, but she goes in on all the castmates as if she is the HBIC. You know what I'm saying? She goes in on them. So that kind of does not lend itself to a relationship that people want you around. You think you can punch people in the face and then expect them to say, oh yeah, I want you to get this check. I want you to get paid like I get paid. You can't do that. And Marlo, you can't really expect those women to be that big. I just think that Marlo is the MVP. So Marlo is at NENE's house, and also in walks that bitch Yvonne from Clark. Okay, she's that bitch Yvonne from Clark. Okay, that's how she calls herself. That's not me calling her that bitch. Yvonne says that. But I'm gonna tell you what, I like Yvonne, and I'm gonna tell you why I like Yvonne, because she has that same energy that Marlo brings. When Yvonne was sitting with Marlo at NENE's house, Yvonne reveals that Cynthia talked all kinds of mess about NENE when Yvonne was down at Cynthia's wine bar for the opening. And you would think that Cynthia would know better, being that Yvonne was NENE's friend the whole time. You would think that Cynthia would use a little bit better judgment in expressing herself to Yvonne, of all people. So you know that Cynthia wanted that to get back to NENE. You just know it. And the ladies are talking about Cynthia and how shady she is, and how how it's really Scent, that hood chick. You know, Scent is the one that is the Cynthia, the real Cynthia that Cynthia hides. She doesn't want people to know that side of her, and I believe that. I believe that you know, the way she reacted and kicked Porsha in her stomach that time, you know, she she comes off as if she plays a real good game. She wants people to believe that she's so meek, innocent, and would never hurt a fly. But we've seen different things from Cynthia over the years that were just shady, you know. They were just shady. And I'm a firm believer in who you surround yourself with, who you choose as your mate is indicative of how you yourself can be. So after NENE and them go off, Porsha goes home and Miss Diane is there caring for the baby. Now Porsha still ain't found no nanny. At this point, Porsha still has not found a nanny, and it's because she really doesn't want to. She really want Mama Diane to be in there keeping her baby, and I don't blame her. Porsha is dragging her feet, taking her time to get this nanny, and I don't blame her. Do your due diligence, girl. You know, ask questions, and don't do what you did with Mr. Dennis. You know, listen to the streets. Do what you know, do your due diligence and ask questions, do your background checks and everything. What you should have done with Mr. Dennis, yeah, do that with finding this nanny. So the biggest part of this episode was basically the Bailey Q. You know, it all goes down on the Q. How y'all spell Q? How y'all spell barbecue? Do y'all spell it with a C or a Q? Now some of y'all looking at me like, ooh, you can spell it 2 different ways. Yes, you can spell it B-A-R-B-E-Q-U-E or B-A-R-B-E-C-U-E. Like, I know I spell mine with a Q just because I just like the way it looks. So anyway, the Bailey Q, which is spelled with a C. Everybody there, all the ladies except NENE. Marlo shows up. But first, Cynthia is upset because she didn't want no babies there. She wanted everybody to get their grown woman on, and she says, you know, I turned around, it looked like Bye Baby took a dump in my living room. And I didn't see where it was that bad, you know, to where it looked like a baby thrift store or anything. It was just some baby stuff in there. And you know, I'm glad she was able to understand that not everybody feels comfortable leaving their baby at home. So I guess Kenya is salty about Cynthia's budding friendship with Eva. Why do these ladies act surprised when people form friendships with the other ladies? You know, it was like, what's that girl's name? Like when Tanya, when everybody was acting so surprised that Tanya and Porsha became friends because Tanya was NENE's friend. Well, y'all know the end of last season at the reunion, Tanya and NENE had fell out, you know, but at that point she was Eva's friend, and now she's Porsha's friend. So you look, I'm not surprised. Everybody's kind of positioning for a permanent position on this show, so I'm not surprised that, you know, Yvonne would be friends with different girls, and I'm not surprised if Tanya would be friends with different girls, or Marlo even, because they really want a position, a full-time position on the show. So they get into the party, everybody shows up, and Kenya wants to she brings a doll that Eva gifted baby Brooklyn, and she regifts that doll to Porsha. Now let me just tell y'all this. As much as I was riding for Kenya in the Mark situation, with her failed marriage and with her failed extended family and non-supportive family members and everything, let me tell y'all something. Kenya is a dangerous person. She's one of these people that you really gotta watch out, that you can't really, you gotta sleep with one eye open with this bitch. You gotta keep your good eye on her, because she's so damaged that she's willing to risk all relationships, good relationships, just to get some get back, you know, just so that she's not feeling vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like, Why would you do that? You trying to get back at Eva, but your friend Porsha gets hit in the crossfire. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you can't do stuff like that, Kenya. It's like you had no regard for your friend Porsha. Why would you put her in the middle of a beef, which I don't even think is a beef because you only had the problem, you know? Why would you put your friend in the middle of that? It just, Kenya, you messy. You messy, Kenya. And I see why people don't F with you. And I'm gonna tell you right now, KANDI was like, I don't know why, Kenya, she was like, Kenya's my girl, I love her to death and everything, but why she want to re-gift the gift? Why doesn't she just not use the gift? First of all, we find out that this whole comment, the reason why Kenya is mad at Eva, it has no basis because Eva didn't even say that Kenya had bad energy. Cynthia said it. When they rolled that tape back, Eva said, I didn't bring my kids because you never know what's going to happen. I don't know, Kenya. You never know what's going to happen. And Cynthia says, you know, the energy might be bad. Cynthia was the one that said that. So when Kenya sat at the table and started arguing with Eva, which kind of was kicked off by Porsha going out there. Porsha was like, Kenya. Porsha said, Kenya said, you know, she used to have she brought the doll out and she said, you know, this doll used to have another home. And Kenya said, where she used to live at? She said, where she used to live? Girl, I was dying. That was funny. I wish I had a doll so I could do that. But she said where she used to live. Basically, it's just a whole bunch of Kenya was beefing with Cynthia. Kenya was beefing with Eva, and Eva didn't back down. Eva said her piece, and she was like, you know, I don't know how much clearer it needs to be. You know, Kenya was like, you don't want no problem with me. Well, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do, Kenya? Because last I checked, Porsha bust you all upside your head with that scepter, you know, and you ain't been right since. You just been talking junk ever since. You threatened Phaedra, but Phaedra, you know, Phaedra ain't gonna fight nobody. You ain't buck up like that with Marlo. Marlo set you straight. Marlo said, first of all, Kenya, don't be trying to shush me and tell me when I can talk. Don't be trying to be all aggressive. You ain't that. You ain't no boss. You ain't no boss. You ain't the boss of me. You ain't a boss even at your house. You all passive over there with Mark. MVP. That's what I'm saying. Marlo tells it like she means it. She said that. Look, I'm all hyped like I really care. But basically she said you ain't no boss. You ain't no boss even at your house. You ain't no boss over there with Mark. You all passive over there with Mark. So why are you sitting here bucking up, trying to get buck with me and these ladies over here? So anyway, Eva ends up leaving. They do the whole twerking and games and everything at this stupid party, and it ends. I don't even forgot how it ended, but y'all, that was it. It wasn't nothing major, but what I'm looking forward to seeing is how Porsha and Kenya, how their friendship ends up developing, if it develops, and also how NENE is going to come back into the group and reclaim her seat at the head of the table, because really these girls are trying to push her out, and it feels like she's letting them by not showing up, by only filming with Marlo. You know, it just feels like she's letting these girls win, and NENE, you've come too far. It's because of you that NENE, it is because of you that the Housewives of Atlanta is what it is. I don't want to see you let them feel like you aren't the nucleus anymore. I don't want you to show weakness by not showing up. Girl, show up and show out like you normally do. Okay, who are these ladies? You got this, girl. Anyway, y'all, that's my commentary of The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12 episode 5, and I'll see you guys next week with another review. Go ahead and like and subscribe, y'all. Hit that button. I think it's down here. Hit that subscribe button. Help me grow this channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.